Hi, I'm Paul Thompson with General Data. If you've been involved in automated labeling applications, you have most likely run into the number one issue facing packagers in this space, and one that frustrates everyone in your operation. Labels jamming in the equipment and not releasing from the silicone liner correctly. This can bring an entire production process to its knees and cause a huge loss of productivity, all over a relatively inexpensive but necessary label. In the vast majority of cases, this issue can be directly traced back to a manufacturing defect, a die cut that is too deep. During the label manufacturing process, the label face duct is die cut similar to a cookie cutter cutting dough. A steel blade is designed to cut the face stock, but not cut or fracture the liner in any way. The liner is typically a paper coated with silicone to allow the adhesive label to release. If the silicone is cut or fractured in any way by the die striking the liner too hard, the adhesive will leak into the fracture and cause the label not to release from the liner properly. This is commonly referred to as a deep die strike. I'm going to show you two quick ways to check for this defect if you are experiencing label jamming and releasing issues in your production processes. The first method is to lay down a strip of labels and remove the label from the liner by hand. Then take a black Sharpie, as I will demonstrate here, and color the liner with the Sharpie. You want to concentrate the Sharpie on the outline of the label, which you may be able to see on the liner. Don't be afraid to press hard and ensure you are transferring a lot of ink to the liner. Then flip the liner over and view from the back. If you see ink spots or lines bleeding through the liner, then you know the silicone has been cut and the die strike is too deep. This will many times be the culprit of the label not releasing properly. A second test is to take a several foot long strip of labels and run them along a desk and pull at a 90-degree angle as I'm showing here. If you see the labels releasing as is shown, the label should work in your automated label application equipment. If the label wants to curl and follow the liner, you probably have a deep die strike that we mentioned earlier. In either case, if the label does not come off at the 90-degree angle and flat to the liner, you will likely experience issues in your high-speed label application equipment. A good question to ask your current or prospective label provider is, what is your inspection process for checking die strike during your manufacturing process? A quality provider will have a method using a die stain protocol similar to the Sharpie test at the beginning, middle, and end of the run, and if the run is long enough, every X number of feet. Now you know how to check for one of the most common issues and to better qualify your label vendor for sound manufacturing processes. If you have any question about how to run these tests or would like to discuss your labeling processes in more detail, give us a call. We're here to help.